I'm Jessica Lombard, Associate Superintendent.
And I'm Superintendent John Berkey, and this is Huntley 158 Today. Well, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, Jessica, but Huntley just recently got selected to be one of only 10 school districts in Illinois that is working on a competency-based pilot.
It's very exciting, Dr. Berkey. We have three of our very instrumental staff here with us today to kind of talk to us a little bit more about this pilot. We have Lana Johnson, Chris Grabner, and Alyssa Kassir. And so before we get started on the competency-based pilot, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and what do you teach here at the high school? And we'll start with you, Alyssa.
So my background, I graduated from the University of Iowa with a bachelor's in history and a bachelor's in secondary ed. And then I was a maternity sub for 1 year before coming here to Huntley. So this is my 4th year at Huntley, and so I teach social studies here.
Great. Chris?
Chris Grabner. I graduated from Illinois State, and this is my 15th year teaching math here at the high school. And hometown, so that's also good.
Great.
I'm Lana Johnson, and I have been in Huntley for 12 years of my 27. I'm an NIU alum, and I teach English here at Huntley.
So tell us what the competency-based pilot is. As I said, 10 school districts were chosen to participate, but what exactly is it?
First, we have to begin with creating these competencies. And competency is basically a collection of standards. So we're all working with our own different standards, and then we have to put them into different competencies and title them at like an umbrella label so that as students are learning, they understand which competency and which standard within that competency they are being proficient or not quite proficient in what they need to continue working on. So then the competencies are our basis, just like if you were having standards-based learning, but now they've been grouped into these larger units, and then the students will be able to take ownership of their education and be able to measure for themselves how well they're doing on each of these competencies. And it's the reporting that then changes because the grades have changed. The things that we've known all our lives may not look the same anymore.
So Alyssa, why is that better to have a competency report versus traditional grades?
So one of the advantages is that students can, and for the program in general too, students can advance upon mastery. So no longer are students stuck in this box of I have to stay in this course, in this unit for this amount of time, even though I already understand this concept. I can prove that I am a master in this concept and I would like to move on. So in the system, students can move on at their own pace. So if it takes them a little bit longer to learn a topic, that's okay. We can use that time that we have with them to make sure that they are at a level of proficiency or at a level of competency. And then allowing them to progress at their own rate as well allows them to advance quicker. Or if they want to go more in depth with a topic, there's room for that as well. So it's really personalized for each individual student and where they want to explore deeper into a level of knowledge with each subject area. Reporting it as well, we're separating the habits of work and learning, which are called HOWLs, from the overall grade. So no longer is creativity and collaboration and how well you present or work in a group connected to your overall grade. So really the grade that you see reported on a transcript now in the system is just how well do I know the content? How well can I show that I have these skills and this knowledge base? Whereas then the HOWs then we report as a separate item then that we can see, okay, here's how well I work together. Here's how creative I am. Here's how responsible I am with my work. So then we can see that as a growth as well throughout their years in the program.
So it's really more like real life,
Exactly.
the way we get evaluated in the jobs that we do.
Exactly, yes.
So Chris, a student who participates, goes through these units, is taught through the different competencies and assessed that way. What do you see as some of the benefits that they're going to take away from that type of a learning environment?
You know, I think there's a couple big things. Number one, this is going to be very cross-curricular. So you're going to be able to tie math into science, into history, into English. A student can be proficient in a number of different standards within each of the classes, all through one assignment. So we can look at, you know, pace of work. You know, I no longer have to do 4 projects. I can do one that hits these different areas. I think that's a great thing. You know, just we're talking all the time about how we can tie in different assignments and projects. And, you know, one thing we said is we're looking forward to our students educating us. Because as they really dig into their own education, they're going to be able to say, hey, I think I can hit this competency through this project that I'm doing in this class for your class. And I think that's a huge step in the right direction for education.
So Lana, what specifically is the pilot going to look like? We're going to be working with a small group of students, right?
It will be 100 to 125 students, which is basically our normal workload, basically 4 classes, so that each of us has ownership of that class.
It's going to be at the freshman level for the pilot,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And I think originally we thought that maybe it was going to be juniors and seniors, but I think if the culture is going to change, we really need to start as freshmen, where they can take ownership for their 4 years. But the flexibility within this block will allow us to vary what our schedules look like. It won't be from a bell to bell to bell. We can take, I could take a block of 2 class periods or 2 hours, and then they go see Chris for a touch-up lesson, or, you know, they have a seminar with Alyssa, but they only have a writing lab with me. We have that flexibility because we're self-contained for this first year.
Well, I think this pilot is going to be great, and I'm sure we're going to learn a lot from it. What works, what doesn't work. But I just really want to thank all of you for volunteering to be a part of this. And I think it's one of the things, Jessica, that's really great about our teaching staff in Huntley 158 is people are always really willing to try new things, even if they're uncomfortable, when they know that ultimately it's going to be better for students. And I think that's just a great credit to the staff we have. And again, really thank you for diving into this.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for watching Huntley 158 today from a destination school district,
Where it's all students always.